Good evening and welcome to Jackson High School for tonight's matchup in boys basketball between the Marysville-Pilchuck Tomahawks and the home team, the Jackson Timberwolves. We're on STSPN.com, your home for high school sports, and our broadcast tonight is presented by presenting sponsor Les Schwab. Also on board, McDaniel's Do-It Center, Gene Johnson Plumbing, G&S Heating, Cooling, and Air Conditioning, American Family Insurance with Sally Petty, Monster Beverage, Navy and Army, and as well as Adrenaline Fundraising and Bickford Ford. So thanks for tuning in tonight as we welcome you to Holiday Week with Christmas just around the corner and these two teams getting after it. Marysville-Pilchuck has struggled so far this year. They are 0-7. Tough road for them to this point. Their most recent game was on Saturday, and they won against lost against Cascade, 68-62. And it's just been a tough way for them to get started. They got going on November 28th and lost to Lake Stevens by 20 points, and then it's just continued on since then, and a lot of wide open games out there. Their JV game, well, between the two teams, Jackson led 49-19 at halftime and then won at 91-37, 54-point win. The Jackson Timberwolves coming in at 3-1. Obviously a contrast to how Marysville-Pilchuck has been doing. And let's take a look at the starters for both teams. First of all, for Marysville-Pilchuck, at guard, 5'7" senior Galen Gray. Also starting as a wing, a 6'1" senior Tommy Wynn. Wing post, 6'1" senior Benjamin Baxter. A 6'2" guard and wing junior Hannon Dixon. And rounding out the lineup for their head coach in his first year, Jeremy Ripley, will be a 6'3" post wing senior Jackson Poe. Across the way now for the Jackson Timberwolves, their head coach is Steve Johnson. He's in his 21st season. Always great to visit with before the game. First of all, starting as a forward, 6'4" senior Caden Sproul. A 6'3" guard, senior Harris Kemp. Also starting at guard, a 6-foot junior Trey Hawkins. A wing forward at 6'7", senior Silas Williams. And a 5'9" guard, senior Ty Hale. That is your lineup for tonight's game as the Timberwolves and the Tomahawks get going here at Jackson High School. We'll take a timeout and then be back with play-by-play action here at Jackson High School. Mark Aucutt, Todd Elvig, and Sarah Elvig on STSPN.com. Welcome back, and we just got the news that our broadcast is going to be seen by millions around the world, or billions, it? Billions.
I guess there's a potential there, isn't there?
Yeah, so the World Cup has nothing on us. We are ready for action here at Jackson High School. Again, Marysville-Pilchuck having a tough start. They are 0-7. Jackson 3-1. Jackson in the white uniforms, and the Tommies are in the red ones. As Jackson will go from our right to left, they win the tip and get started, and we are underway. We'll see how they can get rolling in this one, as they have so far throughout the season, which is right around 3 weeks old. Three-point jumper way off the mark. Right underneath will be Silas Williams. He couldn't connect on that, as the Tomahawks will come out of backcourt. Williams we've seen several times. He does a great job. Traveling called. Tommies turn it over on their first possession. Silas Williams averages about 20 points a game along with 13 rebounds. So he averages a double-double per outing. Jackson, good at moving the ball traditionally. Just flat off the rim that time, and Tommies will come the other direction from left to right. Ooh, 2 turnovers on 2 trips down court. Not a good way to start out the game. Their head coach is Jeremiah Ripley. He is the 3rd coach in 3 years for Marysville-Pilchuck. Barry Gould did it for years. Now Jackson in front court. Silas Williams trying to cut on the baseline there. That looks like it's going to be either stepping out of bounds or that's what it's going to be. So it's going to give the ball to the Tomahawks. A little over a minute into action here at Henry M. Jackson High School, named after the longtime Washington State Senator, Henry Scoop Jackson. Good pass. It goes in, but I believe we got an offensive foul right here. That's what it looked like. That foul will be an offensive foul against Hannon Dixon. His first foul for the team. Our officials, Evan Cherlin is a referee. Darren Fleshman is the umpire 1, and umpire 2 is Jeff McClellan. Way outside the arc. And a big miss, too, as it comes off high. Williams able to get the board, working underneath. Oh, brilliant reverse for Silas. Well, those are our first 2 points of the game, Todd.
That's a long time without a score.
Yeah, it did take quite a while for the first team to get on the board. Tomahawks in the front court, and you see the pickups on defense right there. Oh, that's a tough break. They have had one go in, but it was an offensive foul that had it taken off the board. Another foul coming up. This will go against Jackson. Foul goes against Harris Camp. His first foul, first team. Fouls even at 1 here in the early going of the first quarter at Jackson. Like a 1-on-2 or 3 there for a short instance. Driving the baseline and can't get that shot to fall. Tough break for Galen Gray. Here comes Jackson out of backcourt. Good pass underneath. That was Hawkins to Camp, and Camp gets his first 2 points of the game, and it is now 4-0. Jackson on top. Tried a little backdoor that time, didn't get it there, and now that one's going to be swatted around. Pretty heavy contact there, and I think there's going to be a foul called against Benjamin Baxter, and that is what's going to happen. First foul, second team, just out of bounds for Jackson. This is one of our top schools that we come to many times throughout the year. One of our 5 primary high schools that we set up camp at.
Only because they give us free water.
And that's a very good point. Missed by Williams, rebound by Sproul. So Jackson gets a fresh clock on the time on the clock. Underneath over on the left side. Williams has it batted away from him, and then in trying to get back after the ball, there's going to be a foul called against him. So for Silas Williams, that's his first foul. Second team foul, out of bounds, Tomahawks in the backcourt. And we're scheduled to go again here tomorrow night at Jackson. We'll see if that is going to happen with the snow that was starting when we came into the building, Todd. In fact, they started this game a little bit early. It hasn't even reached its regular starting time. Steal, and he just ran out of gas there. Maybe being a little fancy going to the hoop.
He saw that open hoop, and he was like, oh.
Yeah, and he's put a little bit too much step into it. Excuse me. Tomahawks in front court. Oh, tough lockers. They've missed like 3 of those. Here comes Jackson. Williams a little out of control with the dribble as it came up, but he gets the basket. 6-0. Tomahawks have not allowed a point as of yet. Maybe right here. We'll see what happens. Their defense has been really strong, forcing them out. Look at that. There's another miss. That's 4 that could have gone in, just didn't quite have enough of the right English on it. That's going to be a step out of bounds. And so it will go to the Tomahawks. 6-0, they're up and almost halfway through the first quarter. Mark Aucutt, Todd Elvig, Sarah Elvig here this evening, bringing you the action. I like the defense and the overall play of Ty Hale. He doesn't give you any spacing there. That guy hustles. Nearly lost control of it that time, but Jackson's able to get a handle on it. Trey Hawkins way outside. Yeah, it's a long ranger right there. And Williams underneath, no problem. Pass by Sproul on the assist. Silas Williams now has 6 of the 8 points for Jackson. Jackson's going to make a substitution with Shane Nelson coming in. Way off the mark. Williams is right there. Gets the rebound, going coast to coast. Held ball. That's going to turn it over. Turnover for Jackson. Coming out of the game is Ty Hale. He put in some quality minutes here. Murphy Blackburn, a senior's coming in. Also in will be Mason Johansson for Jackson. Jackson lost 5 seniors to graduation in the spring, so they've had to make some adjustments with that, but they've got a good amount of seniors on the team. This year they have 7 seniors, 3 juniors, 1 sophomore, for a total of 11 on the roster. Wow, they just cannot buy a basket. Everything's coming off virtually the same. They're close, which means those could start falling for them too. 8-0. Long one. Oh, yeah. Somebody finally gets a 3 ball. 11-0. Jackson with the rebound. Out of back court. Todd, pop me down for just a second. Little frog in my throat there, and just got to make sure I clear that out. Marysville-Pilchuck will inbound. Down by 11 to nothing as they move it over to the left side. Oh, ouch.
And they left him alone out there, too.
Yeah, they're 0 for 7. Oh, look at that pass. Full court to Silas Williams from Murphy Blackburn, and it is 13-0. And Williams has 8 of the 13. Timeout has been called by Marysville-Pilchuck. We'll be back with more. Stay tuned.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
To go in the first quarter, and it's been all Jackson so far. The Timberwolves leading 13-0 against Marysville-Pilchuck. Tommies have struggled coming into the game at 0-7, and they are having a tough time of it tonight. Silas Williams with 8 points. He averages 20 per game for the Jackson Timberwolves, and he's all over his opponent on defense right here. Definitely some mismatches out there as Jackson's a much taller team. Another miss from the left side this time. Silas Williams, oh, that's a tough break. He had that in the cone and it sailed out. 2 shots will be coming up on the follow-up. Foul this time is against Patrick Gardner, his first, 3rd team. Heading to the line with 2 shots is Murphy Blackburn. Chance to just keep extending that lead for Jackson.
I think number 5 there wants the shirt.
Yes, I think Silas Williams is pining for that shirt. Couple of substitutions for Marysville-Pilchuck. Tommy Wynn is in. Also on board will be Calvin Higgins. Wynn was in the starting lineup. Higgins just getting playing time. He is a junior for MP. Oh. Wide open. Yeah, that was fantastic for Murphy Blackburn off the pass from Caden Sproul. Sproul's had a couple of really strong assists so far here in the first quarter, and it is 16-0. Can you believe that? There you go. They finally get one. Tommy Wynn gets it. Wow, it took a long time, almost 7 minutes into the first quarter here at Jackson. Fortunately, the snow or threat of snow didn't scare everyone away, so we've got a number of people in the gym watching the game.
Yeah, there's a blizzard supposed to be here.
Yeah,
at 8
blizzard,
o'clock.
yeah. A massive, maybe 2 to 3 inches. And now you as a Minnesota native, hopefully you can handle that much.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
Because they never got snow there.
Yeah, they didn't. They don't cancel school unless you're using a shovel to get the bus out.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, Marysville-Pilchuck in front court, pressure defense, and finally a steal as they've turned it over 5 times, and taking it in is going to be Mason Johansson, who's in the game, and it is 18-2.
You can't sit on the ball like that.
No. Jackson is playing just as hard as if they would be playing in a state championship game right now. Incredibly well coached for the generation by Steve Johnson. Logan Udy is into the game for Jackson. He is a senior. And here come the Timberwolves out of backcourt. You do love to see that ball movement. And there was a good stretch of it earlier. Jackson just keeping the ball in the air. And I was watching a game the other day, the Seattle Pacific, and they did a great job moving the ball around. And it does get, when you have the defense trying to stay with that, and there's the end of the quarter. So we're 18-2. 18-2. Jackson is leading. And I'll finish my fun story after the break here on STSPN.com.
People say that there's no such thing as superheroes, that superhuman strength is only something you read about in comic books. They say men can't fly, and they can't breathe underwater. That's because they don't know my dad.
The Navy SEAL Foundation is committed to supporting the warriors and families of naval special warfare. Join us at NavySEALFoundation.org.
Inbound to start the second quarter here on their home court. The Timberwolves in the white, the Tomahawks in the red with some gold mixed in the uniform. Jackson, it looks like, got a little black involved in there on their color scheme too. Outside, just rims out. Silas Williams, man, he is something. 10 points for him. Murphy Blackburn has 3, so does Caden Sproul. Harris Camp with 2, Mason Johansson with 2. They have had 5 scorers so far in the game. That's Jackson. Good move. Tommy Wynn, he has all 4 of the points for the Marysville-Pilchuck Tomahawks. So the biggest lead at 18, 20-2. Jackson in front court. Double team. Lots of time on the clock, 10 seconds. Williams says, all right, I'm just going to turn around and pop this. They'd have got a fresh 30 had it. They got control of it off that rebound. Tommy's in front court now. Silas with the hand, they're knocking it out. Tommy Wynn says, well, I've scored 4. I can keep going for more points. That rims out. Williams gets an excellent board. Comes down the other way, coast to coast. Yeah, missed the look at him fighting for it there. Wow, there he goes. 4 in the quarter, 12 in the game.
He just can outreach everybody.
He does. As Williams is at 6'7", and you look out there sometimes, he looks like he's playing at about 6'10".
Now here's good coaching. He's going to transfer all these guys in.
Yeah.
And get
Rest his
everybody
legs.
playtime.
Yep, I love that. You know, you're up by 18 points early like this. Williams. Air Williams puts it in, and that is 14 for him now. 20-4, 24-4 is the lead. 20-point lead is what's happening. Lots of substitutions for Jackson. Williams is going to have a seat. You got to keep these guys rested, and you also, if a game is a blowout, you do not want to have any unnecessary injuries. Not that injuries are ever necessary.
Well, I could get one walking across the court, so.
I was concerned about that. I called Sally Petty at American Family Insurance just to make sure
that we're covered.
You're covered. Here we go. Offensive foul against Benjamin Baxter. Second foul against Marysville-Pilchuck. Team foul number 4. Excuse me. His second foul and team foul number 4. Jackson in front court with the 20-point lead. Just patiently working the ball around. Back in the game right there, Ty Hale. Watch number 11 right there. He is always moving and in the game. Oh, there's another in the game. His first points. Three-pointer. It's a 23-point lead at 27-4. The biggest lead of the game for the Jackson Timberwolves. Marysville-Pilchuck hasn't led in this game. They've barely scored. It's been a rough night so far.
And they've got some big guys.
Yeah. They've had a very cold start. Now, Jackson's missed a few three-pointers as well, but their inside game has been amazing. With Williams, who was sitting out there for a while now, they're going to put him back in. No. Yeah, it's just like watching the same shot come in and out. They're very close. It's not like they're throwing air balls up there. Out of bounds it goes. That'll stay with Jackson. Silas Williams back into the lineup for the Timberwolves. Murphy Blackburn will come out of the game, and also a substitution now in will be Patrick Gardner for Marysville-Pilchuck. Gardner is a junior. As the Tommies get set up defensively, there they go. Yeah, the good ball movement by Jackson. Going to go to the low post. There's Williams. He misses that one. Marysville-Pilchuck going the other direction. Lose a handle on it. That's 7 turnovers for them. Hale dishes off to his teammate, Drew Pepin. He's got his first 2 of the game. 29-4. Oh, my. Well, Wynn gets another couple. He's got all 6 of the points for Marysville-Pilchuck. Rough first half, to put it mildly. Williams. No. Yeah, he's so tall you'd think he just had no problem putting that in, but not quite enough on it. He's already got 14 points, 8 in the first quarter, 6 in the second. Williams tight on defense, too. He does play hard on defense. It's not one-dimensional, that's for sure. Foul goes against number 2, Harris Kemp, his second, 3rd team foul. Marysville-Pilchuck will inbound on the baseline. Looking around and finally get it to what he was looking for, Galen Gray. Drive on Williams. Nope. They almost kept it alive. Todd, as a coach, this is not an easy thing to keep your team focused when you're down this many points this early. Hale
He's a shooter.
thuds off the backside of the room. No hesitation by Mr. Hale. Ty Hale is a senior. Hale definitely a spark plug out there. I've liked the passing from a number of players for Jackson so far, finding their teammates. Williams, another board. To Hale. Oh, spectacular move. He's got 5, all in the quarter. Back to a 25-point lead at 31-6. Look at this drive. And knocked away again. Williams going all the way down. Oh, that is pretty. That was just a beautiful move. 33-6 as the Tomahawks need to talk things over. They're down by 27. 2:17 to go here in the second quarter on STSPN.com. There you go.
Concession stand's closing. So the concession stand is closing. You got to get over there.
Yes, that is an important announcement. The concession stand is wrapping up, and we hope we'll be able to get all this in. I think, I'm quite sure we will, but with the snow, it was kicking up earlier a fair amount when I came in.
It was
It
scary.
was beautiful, though.
Yeah.
Were you scared? I remember walking up to the truck, and I could see your truck shivering because it was you inside shivering. Yeah. Well, you hang in there, Todd.
I'm trying to lock that thing in. So you've got full-time four-wheel drive.
I have what?
Full-time four-wheel drive.
Yes, I do. It's a beautiful thing. You don't have four-wheel drive on that, or do you?
Yeah.
You do, don't you?
Yeah.
You got like 8-wheel drive on that. On the Coyote, the new Ford from Bickford.
Bickford Ford, yeah.
One of our sponsors.
Locking front and back.
Yeah, gotta love it.
Oh, there you go.
3-point basket. Jackson Poe, will they finally get a big outside shot to go in? It has been a very tough night for Marysville-Pilchuck, and we're just in the second quarter. They're down 33-9. Oop, Hale looking around, nobody available. Williams still out there, and he keeps going like he has been. He's going to get one of his best point nights ever. There's 2 more. He's got 10 in the quarter, 18 in the game. But at some point, as you get deeper into this, like in the third quarter, you have to look at leaving him out for a while, and because you just don't want to rub it in either, and keep him healthy.
Well, and think about where he's going to be at later in the season. It's just going to be crazy.
Yeah. This is a crossover game. Jackson is Wesco 4A, and Marysville-Pilchuck is Wesco 3A. Lots and lots of teams in both classifications total. All right, under 40 to go. It's stolen away. That's 9 turnovers. Oops. That's going to be on Williams. We could see that he was pretty physical out there. Second foul, team foul number 4. Each team has 4 team fouls. Hale's going to have a respite. And the Tomahawks will work their way out of backcourt. I'm very thankful in going to Washington State University that I took the driving in snow course.
Did you?
You know, I've been saying that recently. Oh, really? They got a class for that? Trey Hawkins with the foul. His first foul, team's 5th foul. Oh, yeah, sure. Different levels, 100 level, 200 level. I mean, it's extensive. In the 400 series, you get to drive a semi in the snow. Steal and a little bit too much razzle-dazzle that time. Williams is just fighting for it. He is a force.
Well, see, they're on TV, so they're like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and billions of people are watching this broadcast. We would love to say hello to our friends
in Japan.
We'll get to that in a second. And that is the end of the first half. It was a dreadful first half for Marysville-Pilchuck, but a robust first half for Jackson as they lead 37-9. And I was going to say and will say, we do want to say hello to all of our viewers in Beijing, China. Thank you. Great to have you on board with us.
Well, they're probably in lockdown out there.
Oh, that could be,
they
yeah.
Wanna watch.
Well, they got to watch. They got to watch inside. So, and hopefully our broadcasts aren't being censored. Also, it is halftime here. 37-9 is the score. We'll take a break and be back a little bit later with the second half. Give us about 8 or 9 minutes. See you then. Bye.
You may have heard the phrase, the early bird gets the worm. Well, at Bickford Ford, the early bird gets first crack at the new 2023 Fords. Right now, order a new 2023 Ford F-150 and move to the front of the line for America's #1 truck for the last 45 years. Or start your order on the 2023 Ranger, Edge, Bronco Sport, or Explorer. Washington's #1 volume Ford dealership. Bickford Ford on Bickford Avenue in Snohomish or at bickford.net.
Come with us. The new generation. The next level. Sending it big.
You're in for a good run. Let's go.
Come with us to the track, to the trails, to the slopes, to the surf, to the fight, to the race.
Look at this.
To the 4 a.m. starts. Training harder, pushing further, hitting back. Hard. To the fans, to the followers, and the haters. Come with us. To the blood, to the sweat, and the broken bones. Cue rehab. We never quit. We never give up. We take control. To the world titles. To the world's first. The world's best.
UFC strawweight champion.
Come with us. We're just getting started.
It's going to be so much fun. I promise you.
SWCC is an acronym, and it stands for Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman.
You know, you can stand across from another guy and say, you know what, he's got your back. And, you know, that's the guy you're counting on. If something goes wrong, he's going to be there.
In the end, we're fighting for each other.
This is Witch Doctor requesting immediate hot extract.
Here on the team, you know, about 22 of us on the boat. You know them personally, so you know exactly whose life you have in your hands.
Everyone's come together and everyone's sole mission is to do their job individually as best they can to benefit everyone else in the boat.
I got a brotherhood, and it's a real brotherhood, and it's a loyal and honest brotherhood, and that's what matters.
Johnson are here and ready to help with our touch-free service. Being clean and safe are at the top of our minds. We're using gloves, masks, shoe covers, and lots of hand sanitizer. Our software allows us to get your approval without any physical contact. We hope you don't need us, but if you do, we're ready. Gene Johnson, clean, on time, and professional.
Thanks to Les Schwab tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab tires.
People say that there's no such thing as superheroes, that superhuman strength is only something you read about in comic books. They say men can't fly, and they can't breathe underwater. That's because they don't know my dad.
The Navy SEAL Foundation is committed to supporting the warriors and families of naval special warfare. Join us at NavySEALFoundation.org.
Folks, we are back here live at Jackson High School. I'm Mark Aucutt along with Todd Elvig and Sarah Elvig, our presenting sponsor tonight. Les Schwab, also other sponsors, McDaniels Dewitt Center, Gene Johnson Plumbing, G&S Heating, Cooling, and Air Conditioning, American Family Insurance, Monster Beverage, Army and Navy, Bickford Ford, and Adrenaline Fundraising. As Marysville-Pilchuck will have the ball to get rolling, they're down by 28 points, 37-9. Not going to get closer with shots that come out like that. They've had some really good looks throughout the game. They just haven't been able to get those shots to drop, which is very frustrating. Jackson working it around, weaving around. Silas Williams pops out. There's Hale. Now getting the rock is Trey Hawkins. And they've missed a few from out there as well. The thing is they've made a lot of them too. Only one three-pointer made by Marysville-Pilchuck, and that was by Jackson Poe in the second quarter. Jackson made 2 in the first quarter, and they had 1 last quarter in the second, so 3 overall. Hale thought shot, thinks better of it.
Just in case anybody sees our broadcast here, the camera shaking is not our equipment, it's the Jackson stands.
Yes, thank you for the disclaimer. Foul's going to go on Jackson Poe, his first foul, first team. Nobody's really in any foul trouble. Benjamin Baxter for Marysville-Pilchuck has 2 to lead them, and there's a couple with 1 each. Basket good.
We got a text from Jeff Madsen.
Oh, our buddy Jeff Madsen. Which one? Stop leaving Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
STSPN leaving Jackson shows a monster truck trying to get out of the, go over the cars.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, man, what a move. Trey Hawkins. It's up to a 32-point lead. Keep in mind, when it becomes a 40-point lead, which it appears it could happen, then it's a running clock, which really speeds things up, especially on a night when people want to get home with the threat of snow, or if it is snowing down there. What we get on the call that time? Turned it over. Just 3 turnovers for Jackson and 10 for Marysville-Pilchuck. Coming up on 2 minutes into the third quarter already.
Oh, nice.
Turnaround jumper perfect by Jackson Poe. He has 5 points. Hit that three-pointer earlier.
In case nobody knows who Jeff Madsen is, he's the head official for WIAA, and they need officials.
You know, I was going to mention that too. We can talk about it. You got officials that are retiring. In the NCAA, it's like 4-to-1 retiring to be new hires. It's very tight. Let's see if he counts the basket that time. Count it. And the foul is on Benjamin Baxter, his 3rd, team foul number 2. So the basket is good for Trey Hawkins, and now he goes to the line to attempt to complete the three-point play. Nobody's made a foul shot so far in this game.
You know, parents can actually help with retaining officials.
That's true.
Because if they stop yelling at them, right?
No, that is a very good point. We hear these stories, some closer to home than others, about parents just losing control and causing it to be a very rough experience for the officials. Keep in mind that the officials are not perfect, just like how not everybody who shoots doesn't always make a basket. Now there's one right there. Camp getting the basket, but you know, nobody's perfect, and you got these officials, and a lot of them don't want to do it because they're tired of being beat up on by fans. Down the other way, Trey Hawkins.
And the truth is, I think they've got about a 95% accuracy.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Dixon gets the basket. His first 2. 35-point lead for Jackson in the third quarter. But, yeah, if you were to take the percentages, you know, and I get it where certain fans or parents go, well, wait a minute, it's where the foul was called or what have you. But, you know, in all the games we do in the various sports per year, it's still a really small percentage of calls we don't agree with. Sproul with the basket, back to a 37-point lead. And there's another thing that's rough is coaches writing the officials too. I mean, I get it from periodically, but when you're doing it from the get-go of the game and your team never makes a foul in your mind, that's crazy. There's Silas Williams. He's got 22 now. Had 8 in the first quarter, 12 in the second quarter, and it is a 39-point lead on the cusp of the running clock.
And you can't back yourself out of a running clock.
No. Once you're in, you're in. Well, that postpones it.
That sure does.
Benjamin Baxter hits the big shot for 3 points. Tomahawks have 6 seniors, 6 juniors, no sophomores and no freshmen on their team. Williams, he's missed a couple of inside ones. He'd be up to 28, but he's still having a huge night with 22. Jackson gets the board. Here they come on the high dribble. Yes, indeed. Camp with another basket. And now it's back to a 38-point lead at 54-16. Got a whistle. 30-second timeout has been called by Marysville-Pilchuck. We'll take a break. 54-16 the score on STSPN.com. Well, welcome back as it's a one-sided game here, 54-16, Jackson on top. Mark Aucutt with Todd Elvig and Sarah Elvig. And also at quality control in Magnolia, Debbie Larson saying that things look absolutely fine for our signal. And she handles quality control on the nights I'm here.
You got Pinky and Bluey there?
Pinky and Bluey are there. And I understand the Boston Terriers, the 9-month-old, are taking a bit of a nap right now. They're a little bit exhausted from daycare.
Yeah.
And that is a true point. I picked them up earlier. Doggy Daycare had a couple of puppies there, and these 9-month-olds are doing their whole thing with them. Now they're gassed. Oh, just off. They get the board, though. That's in. And that's Murphy Blackburn now with 5 points. That's a 40-point lead. Should keep that clock in full gear as a 40-point lead and mercy rule. Traveling has been called against the Tomahawks. 11 turnovers. Yep, clock is running. So unless it's a timeout or foul shots, if I remember correctly, that
media break.
Media break, yeah. If we have to take a break to address the network. Silas Williams, no problem. 24 for him. And this is very much like the varsity or the junior varsity game. Piece of cake for them on the cherry pick. He wanted to dunk it and couldn't quite get there. I have him for 10 points. That's Harris Camp. But Silas Williams has to be our leading candidate for the Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Game. Jackson, look at that. Oh. As if by design. Yeah, that whole play was choreographed. Mason Johansson getting the bucket. Yeah, you feel for Marysville-Pilchuck, though, because Jackson is quite good. And Marysville-Pilchuck's been struggling as Hannah Dixon gets a hold of it. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. This one moving right along. We started at, about 7:06? Off the glass. Sproul now with a total of 7 points. Tomahawks looking for something to do. It's tough to get inside and make something happen. That was knocked out of bounds by Williams. There just is no openings in there. And with Williams at 6'7" and definitely crowding things out, you really don't have a high percentage in there. Well, thrown away again. Look out. Yeah. Oh, That'll be 2 shots. He was in the act of shooting. Could have been a 3-point play had he been able to make it. Calvin Higgins with his first foul, 3rd team foul. Jackson has not committed a foul here in the second half. Murphy Blackburn is going to the foul line. Well, they have not hit one yet.
And those are free.
They are, and there's no charge. But we can get our advertisers to, you did that, what were you doing? Foul shots, trips to the line,
yeah,
3-point
line,
plays,
yep.
High-end creativity for getting our advertisers involved. And tomorrow night, we're scheduled to do Bothell at Jackson right here in the friendly confines. Is it going to count it? It counts. Nice finish. Coming through at the end is Calvin Higgins. And we are through 3 quarters here at Jackson. The score, Jackson 65 and Marysville-Pilchuck 21. We return with the 4th and final quarter right after this timeout. Welcome back to Jackson High School. 65-21 is the score at the end of 3 quarters. Jackson on top in their 5th game of the season. Marysville-Pilchuck will play coming up on Wednesday at home. 7:15 game when they host Cedar Crest. Jackson will inbound to start the 2nd quarter of the second half, the 4th quarter. Over on the left side, just like total perfection. I am kind of surprised that Williams is still out there. So Sproul is out there. He's a starter. It's thrown out of bounds. Goes back to Jackson. 14 turnovers for the Tomahawks. I have Jackson with just 3. And a 46-point lead. So, yeah, Sproul is a starter. So is Kemp, Williams. 3-point basket. Nailing it that time is Johansson, and he has 7 points in the game. Yeah, this is a clear route, and it looks like Steve is going to bring in 3 players. 3-pointer. Shane Nelson connects on it. Jackson has really spread out the scoring. 8 players have scored in this game. Silas Williams, double team. He doesn't seem to have let that affect him ever. Gets another basket, 26 for him. Yeah, we've seen him double teamed and triple teamed in this game, and he still keeps fighting for the basket. And that is something that you really like to see as a player, and the colleges like to see, that he works inside and doesn't get pushed around, at least not by this group. Patrick Gardner gets the basket. Jackson just playing some sound offense out there as they have throughout the game, working for decent shots. Johansson is called for the foul, his first, and that is just a first-team foul. New player in, it's Henry Johnson for Jackson. Johnson is a junior. Also, it looks like they put Logan Udy in. Last touch by Jackson there with 5:33 to go in this first game of our week. We have one tomorrow night scheduled.
Now, I think we'll be over at the top of the peak tournament for the girls.
Are you working that out? Or you're going to be there tomorrow night? Is it tomorrow?
I don't think so.
Okay, basket is good.
I need to check
by
on that.
Aaron Hill. Basket on the other end. Good by Mason Johansson. That's 9 points.
You know, I want to give a shout out to the IT department at Everett.
For making this happen tonight?
School district. They taking really good care of us and helping us to get
now,
connected.
do you use Ethernet for that? What is your
We
connection?
do.
I thought so. Tomahawks get a basket. Oh, they've scored 9 so far here in the quarter with 4:30 to go. Their highest quarter was the third with 12. So it's nice that Jackson is kind of eased up on them a little bit and allow Marysville-Pilchuck to have some chances of getting baskets. Jackson gets the rebound. Coming down with it this time is Johansson. All the way down court the other way and a miss. Oh, that one's batted around. You get the fresh 30 on that. Now in college, you get the 30 to start with, and then it resets. If you hit the rim, it goes to 20. Held ball. Tomahawks will get possession. And again, it's going really fast because of the 40-point rule. You look up and go, wow, another 15, 20 seconds have ticked off. But they do not stop the clock once a team has got it up to a 40-point lead. You know what is interesting? I mean, I don't know if this has ever happened. One would think it could have. Is that if you put the 40-point rule in and a team that is down comes back and wins. Can you imagine that? That would take some work.
That would be like the Vikings on Sunday.
Yes, it would. NFL record comeback. Dropping it in. Henry Johnson, his first 2 points. 46-point lead. Johnson ends up with the board. You got a game next week, too. On the 27th, I'll be involved in. Also back up here on January 3rd.
I think we have most of Jackson's home games and most of
And
Everett's
that works
home
out
games.
really well. Held ball. Jackson's going to get it. Marysville-Pilchuck will sub in 2 players. Benjamin Baxter is into the lineup. Also coming on board is Luke Shoemaker, seeing his first action of the game. And the Timberwolves will inbound on the left baseline. And just garbage time now. Run the clock off and out. And what's fun right now is you got some guys that don't see much playing time, and when they take a shot, their teammates rooting them on pretty hard. Tommy's trying to work out a backcourt, nearing the 2-minute-to-go mark. This is one of the fastest games I've done in quite a while.
Well, they're trying to beat
Oh,
the
nice
snow.
move. Benjamin Baxter, he's got 5. What's that? They're trying
to beat the snow.
Exactly. Quite a bit forecast for tomorrow. Oh, look at that. Blackburn with his second three-pointer of the game. And you just look at some of the individual performances now with this game being as lopsided.
There
That's
it goes.
an individual performance right there by Shane Nelson. And one of the things that Jackson has done consistently with the big lead is just still play Jackson basketball and not turning it into a rec league game or an NBA game, if you will.
Yeah.
They're very much the same. Rec league, NBA, pre-law, pre-med, same thing. Jackson into front court coming up on a minute. That is another great basket for Henry Johnson.
Good awareness.
Definitely. Henry, a junior. Under a minute to go in the fourth, and we will have our Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Game t-shirt to give away. And I'd say it's got to be Silas Williams. Williams, not just with the points, but also just the rebounds and presence. He helped set a big tone for Jackson to do what they're doing tonight. Another one. Murphy Blackburn hits another one. And that shot did not have a lot of arc on it, but it was right there. Nothing but net. Total twine shot. Last touch by Jackson. And Marysville-Pilchuck's probably going to get one shot off the rest of the way. As the clock is ticking down to 12 seconds. Tomahawks working the ball around. Good move. Aaron Hill into the game, gets a basket. And that's going to be the last points of the game. Our score, Jackson 84, Marysville-Pilchuck 37. That is the final, and we're going to have our selection of player of the game coming up here. That would be Silas Williams. Silas Williams will come up. I know I've talked to Silas in the past. He's going to win that player of the game T-shirt at least once a year, and we usually stop it at one time so we can spread it around. But, man. And when I talked to Steve Johnson before the game, Todd, he said none of his players have committed to college yet, and Williams is a senior, and Williams is definitely college material. All right, we got Silas coming up. No hesitation. There we go. Let's see if Silas can hear us. So just drop the cord. Yeah, we'll get him on camera. Silas, can you hear us okay? We got to get him up. You good?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for coming up. First of all, congratulations. You are the STSPN Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Game. I know we've talked before. You've won a T-shirt or more before, haven't you?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming. And also, what a great performance you had out there tonight. 26 points offensively. You set a great tone offensively with 8 points, but wasn't just the scoring. It's your fearlessness inside that is really fun to watch because you don't allow others to, push you out of there. You attack them. You go for it. Great job.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I just thought my team got me open when I was running. They passed well. We had good spacing for me to work in the post. No doubles from their opponents. I just thought we did good.
Yeah, and even when they would try to converge and double or triple team you seem to it doesn't affect it, didn't let it bother you. Let's put it that way.
My teammates, whenever I get doubled, they're good at moving around the perimeter so I can pass to them, or just wait till it clears out, then I can do my thing. Yeah,
that's exactly what we were talking about. You guys move the ball really well. I mean, there's a certain style Jackson has and has had where it definitely spreads the defense out, and then you can go get a basket.
Yeah, I just think Coach does a good job of teaching us good spacing, good patient, don't rush a shot, don't wait too long. He just teaches us good stuff.
Yeah, spacing is very important and taking your time, being patient. Now, and I talked to him before the game. Coach Johnson said that none of the players have a college commitment yet. You've got to be thinking about going somewhere.
Yeah, I'm talking to some schools, but I'm not sure where I'm going to go yet.
Can you throw a couple, 3 names out, or is that something you want to keep quiet?
Some Idaho schools, some mostly D2 schools around Washington too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't think D1?
I know some D1 schools.
Okay, good. I like to hear that because I can see you there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thank you.
And certainly D2, but yeah, you definitely can find a home in D1. So, coaches coming to you, talking to you. I mean, schools talk. Okay. Because something's going to. I know you're going to play at the next level.
Yeah.
And so, hey, thanks a lot for your time. Good talking with you and getting another T-shirt. And you're a fun player to watch, and so is your team. Yeah. You guys are just in sync. There's no doubt about that. So, Silas, thanks so much. Yeah, if you want to spread the T-shirt out there, we'll get that on social media as player of the game. And now he's got a full collection of those.
Thanks,
Silas. Very good. Silas Williams, the senior, and you're going to hear more about him this season and also when and where he goes to college later on in the school year. So thanks, Silas. Again, our final score. They took it down so darn quick. A big win for Jackson. 84-37. Yep. That's right. I got it now. 84-37. And that's the final score. Sarah Elvig, great job on camera as always. Todd, a pleasure. This is like therapy for me. You're like one of my counselors or something, my therapist. Both of you, because I come up here, I am totally relaxed. And I'm thankful for nice things going on in life in general, thankfully. But I come up here and I just totally enjoy it. I love being around this. I've been involved in Wesco for 30 years, and, it's just a special place, no doubt about it. So anybody, everybody, 84-37, Jackson with the win. They improved to 4-1 and Marysville-Pilchuck drops to 0-8. Remember, Mark Aucutt saying winning is for tonight, sportsmanship is for a lifetime. Take care, everybody, and be careful out there with the snow. Good night.